The following program was produced by CinemaMilkshake.
And now, our feature presentation.
Greetings and salutations. I'm Ryan, and this is a pod of the cast variety. And it's about movies.
Oh, there's a big surprise!
Shut up. There are so many different types of movies, and so many different types of people who watch them. So, I've asked some of these wonderful people to recommend movies to me.
What do we got?
You gotta come take a look at this.
Brother, you said it.
And then they join me to talk about them.
Uh-oh!
Have any idea what you're getting yourself into, Daddy-O?
Thanks for the opportunity.
You got it!
Who knows what I'll think?
It's the greatest movie I've ever seen in my life.
No, sir. I didn't like it.
That was pretty good.
This whole thing's a bloody farce.
Did you like that?
Are you kidding?
So, if you like movies, and you like listening to people talk about them,
I could be up for that.
well, then you may just like this podcast.
Now the fun begins.
So what have you got?
Something wonderful.
Let's all go to the movie.
Welcome to
Thrill me.
Thrill me.
Are you not entertained?
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Thrill Me. My name is Ryan, and I'm glad you're here. Before we get into the show, I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you to everybody who's been listening, downloading, commenting. I hope you're enjoying everything, and I certainly enjoy knowing you are out there, lending your ears and your hearts and your minds to the discussions we have about movies and life. And just a little reminder, click on the follow buttons, the subscribe buttons, all the whatever the buttons are that need to be buttoned. And if you haven't done that, do that now. It really helps. And leave comments. Leave comments on the show. Ask questions. I'd love to answer some questions. Can maybe even have some of my guests answer questions. We like questions here. We like comments and questions. We like feedback. We're online with CinemaMilkshake. You just go to Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky, Letterboxd, and YouTube and search for CinemaMilkshake. You'll find it rather easily. I hope you get a chance to go through some of the videos on YouTube that we have for you. Some silliness, some guessing games. All our podcasts are there, plus all the episodes from my other podcast, the Unidentified Flying Podcast that I do with my friend and co-host Rick Reed, where we are traversing the 1950s and going through all the science fiction films that came out in that decade, movie by movie, year by year. So, yeah, I don't know, all of that stuff helps, and that's the name of the game right now, because most of us out here doing this aren't making any money from it. We're basically doing it as a hobby. Your support is what keeps us going. Speaking of which, we're also on Ko-fi. That's KO-FI. So if you feel like maybe throwing a buck or two at us, that will help, because I am looking to upgrade some of my equipment. Get myself a better setup, more studio quality setup here to do the podcast and the videos. So, every little bit helps. Every little dollar helps. So thank you for that. My guest today is a man by the name of Joe Tekelly. I first met Joe several years ago when I got hired to work at a local closed captioning company. Joe came in around the same time I did, I think, in terms of hiring. And so we kind of came up together. He may have been there a little bit earlier than me, but we fast became friends. This is our first time, though, in all those years to actually sit down and just talk one-on-one about movies. And Joe brought me my first sports film. That's right, I'm doing a sports film. That is the 1994 classic to some people, D2, The Mighty Ducks. That's right, we're going Disney, folks. This is a fairly family-friendly episode because it's a family-friendly film. Joe is a local raconteur, bon vivant, and one-time recipient of a shoulder rub by the late WWE superstar Virgil. You get that, folks? He's a celebrity because he got a shoulder rub by Virgil. I don't know who Virgil is. I know nothing about WWE, but Joe knows a lot about a lot of things, and we had a very great discussion about D2 The Mighty Ducks. In fact, this episode is a good example of what this show is really, truly all about, and that is learning about each other. And that is not only learning about each other through our mutual love of film, but also realizing that sometimes it's not about us and how we feel about a movie, how we see a movie. It's learning to see that movie through someone else's eyes, someone else's life experience, someone else's soul, if you will. And on this episode, I actually found myself changing my opinion of the movie as I listened to Joe talk about it. This may have been more of an internal thing for me and may not be that apparent when you listen to it, but it's definitely there. And I think that's a good thing. I think that's what, if nothing else, this podcast is hoping to do, and that's explore empathy and learn more about not only the people in our lives, but the people outside of our lives. So it's time for Joe and I to knuckle puck it up and talk about the Ducks.
And action.
Joe Tekelly, welcome to Thrill Me. I am so happy to both see you and hear you, although the listeners can only hear you. But man, it has been way too long, and I am absolutely overjoyed that I get to wind up my day by listening to your dulcet tones, the dulcet tones of your voice, and look at the starry-eyed wonder that is your face.
As usual, you are too kind. But before we get any further here, you know what? Can you just join me? Bear with me here. Grant me this little... I want to start us off with a quack. Quack.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Quack. Quack. Yeah, baby.
Quack.
Should we do it again? Do we want to? I mean, we got to work on that. That sounds like first practice kind of stuff.
Yeah, that was definitely first practice, because I didn't know we were going to be doing it, but I should have been prepared.
That's the first practice of the season. We're all meeting new faces. We're all skating on the ice for the first time, looking around, seeing some of our old friends, some new faces too. So you know what? I think we can do better, and I think we owe it to the Ducks, to Gordon Bombay, to Jan to do better. So here, let's try it one more time.
Okay, we got it.
Quack. Quack.
Quack.
Quack.
Quack.
Quack.
Quack.
Quack.
Quack.
Oh, then it feels good. Ryan, I'm absolutely honored to be here. The two of us together. Like you said, it's been too long, but here we are. Can you believe it? You, the Fulton Reed to my Dean Portman, my other Bash brother. I'm just, excuse the pun, thrilled to be joining you.
I didn't get that. I did not get that reference, but
we're going to be in for a bumpy ride then. But
no, I love it. Don't worry about that.
I am thrilled to be here. Thank you so much for having me on the pod.
Yeah, of course. I'm thrilled you said yes, because we for those listening at home or in their car or on the toilet or in the shower, wherever you may be. Joe and I have known each other for going on 13 years.
I'm currently in two of those locations right now.
Are you on the toilet and in the shower?
It's a hybrid. You know, I do not live in a big house. So.
Okay, yeah, I don't really either. Well, I share it with two cats, and they take up so much room for such little critters. Yeah, Joe, we've known each other for going on 13 years now. We used to be co-workers.
We did indeed.
And you still work for
local captioning company. That is correct. We came up together.
We did. Yeah, I think I started shortly after you.
Every time we see each other, I do want to say thank you for your service to the hearing impaired community. You're the unsung hero, really.
My pleasure.
Yeah. I gotta give it up.
Yeah, no, and you as well. You continue to do it. I no longer work there, but you are still there, and you work with my roommate and friend Hojo, who was also recently a guest on this show. Him and I watched Mean Girls, because I'd never seen it.
That seminal classic, yes.
Yeah, you guys are bombarding me with the millennial touchstones that I just did not see because I was a little bit older than you guys when these came out and not exactly the demographic for either at the time. But I quite enjoyed Mean Girls, actually.
I was reflecting on Mean Girls earlier. Who would have guessed Amanda Seyfried is going to be like the big one coming out of that movie? But she continues to thrive.
I know.
It's wonderful.
That's what I was talking about it with my roommate again the other day. And I was like, I think she's the one from that cast that is still consistently, like, she rose. Like, she's everywhere now. So, which is great. I think she's good. I enjoy her work. Well, you know, Tina Fey and Amy Poehler were obviously hugely successful, and, you know, they still work. But anyway, out of the mean girls that were mean, those girls that were mean, yeah, Amanda Seyfried seems to be on a roll, as the kids.
And we're here for it. I'll give her flowers. But yes, out of the Mean Girls and onto the icy.
I would give her more than that if I knew her personally.
I don't know what you mean, but I think I'm picking up the what you're laying down. So
I find her attractive, but whatever.
Yeah. She's going to be singing and dancing on a boat, from what I understand. And The Testament of Anne Lee. Go check it out. See it in theaters.
I know.
Because I think, above all else, I'm an advocate for the theaters.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm here for today.
Yes, you are. You see more movies in the theater every year than I do. And
is that true? That doesn't seem like it could be true.
No, I don't get to the theaters much at all over the last several years. I just don't.
You have an open invite with me, bud. And the only reason I do that is because I'm ignoring my wife and child. So.
Oh, okay, great.
Is it really something to celebrate? Yeah, who knows? Who's to say?
That's the best way to do it. Hell yeah, I'll come out and hang out with you.
We'll stop by MacGuffin's bar beforehand and have a good old time.
All right. Damn, I got a date. Okay. Anyway, before we get to the movie that you have suggested to me, I was looking for a good word. And
you nailed it. I loved it.
Yeah, wasn't that? I'm so good at this, aren't I? So yeah, before we get to the movie that you have brought to the table on Thrill Me, why don't you tell the listeners a little bit about yourself? I know who you are and what you do, but they don't. So this is your chance. You step up onto the podium and have your little coming out moment to the listeners of Thrill Me.
I've been waiting almost 40 years for someone to say those very words to me, and I will do so with pleasure. So, as you said, my name is Joe Tekelly. You and I are long time co-workers, and you actually brought out the years, 13 years. And
I do my research.
Do the math, but thank you for holding me to the fire factually. So, yeah. And you're the best at it. I'm not going to step up against you there. But yes, longtime coworker, longtime friend. And I do think that the longevity of our friendship really says something towards your character. I mean, you've put up with my impishness, a lot of my nonsense for more than a decade now. So, I mean, hats off to you. I can be exhausting, but hey, I have to live with myself, and you got to leave at 4:00 every day. So. But still, to make it 13 years,
well, and you know what?
Something to celebrate, really.
I have very fond memories of the Christmas parties because you and I worked different shifts, so we didn't often get to chit-chat, but at the Christmas parties, like, you and I know at least did one classic, unforgettable karaoke performance that brought the house down and was in fact, the audience was encouraging us to do a mic drop because there was no way anybody could top our duet of Bon Jovi's Wanted Dead or Alive. And kudos to us for knowing how to entertain an audience.
Kudos to us.
No, you're great, and thank you for the kind words, and I've always enjoyed your company, and I'm just delighted to finally have a chance to talk some movies with you when I don't have to get to work in 10 minutes and you don't have to get home from work.
Truly.
As our shifts, crossed paths.
we were a little bit like the Sharks and Jets with the day crew and the night crew, but as in the big gym dance scene in West Side Story, we came together. Sometimes there was a little bloodshed, but most of the time we were just having a good time, kicking our shoes off and doing the sock hop together. Is that the right movie? Am I remembering the right film?
I have to make a confession. I have never ever seen either. Now that there's two of them, I've never seen either version of West Side Story.
I could, having known that, I would have brought West Side Story to you. I would have brought little Rachel Zegler out here, and we could have had a final time. But you know what? That's water under the bridge. Here we go. We're living in our reality right now. We're lacing up our skates.
Are you mentioning skates? Because we're going to be talking about a I guess classic, or a sequel to a classic ice hockey film from the Disney family? That's right, folks. Joe wants me, or suggested to me, that I watch not Mighty Ducks, but Mighty Ducks 2, known as D2. D2 the Mighty Ducks 2? I don't know. D2 Mighty Ducks 2.
D2 colon the Mighty Ducks.
The Mighty Ducks. Oh, there you go. You're right.
Cannot forget that colon. Yep.
It is D2 colon the Mighty Ducks. Okay. So yeah, Joe, when I asked him to suggest a movie to me, he threw D2 colon the Mighty Ducks at me.
It didn't take, it was less than a 15-second call on my part. It was you mentioned it, and it was like boom, no question in my mind.
Yeah, you had that, like, it was like instantaneous, which is great, because not only had I never seen it before, I've never even seen the first one, and I still haven't.
Oh my!
So this, because I
that is perfect.
Kind of, well, I was tempted. I thought I should watch the first one.
Okay,
but then I was like, you know what? No. I have to judge this movie on its own merits. So I did a little bit of digging, i.e. I asked ChatGPT to summarize the first one for me, and it was pretty much what I assumed it would be from, like, the box cover and the trailer. Okay. It's not like I've never seen a sports movie or a Disney family sports film. So, I get it.
Oh, okay. I'm going to check that question off my list. You have, so for the record, you are admitting to your listeners that you have seen a sports movie. Is that correct?
I've actually, believe it or not, because this is the other thing. I know you're a sports fan. I'm not really much of a sports guy, but I have actually seen a lot of sports films, and on top of that, There's actually quite a few I love. I almost love sports movies more than sports themselves, particularly football. I can't stand football. I would never go to a football game or watch football on TV, but man, if I don't love, like, Any Given Sunday.
You hook it to my veins. You and I are speaking the same language.
Yeah, I don't like basketball, but I love He Got Game. Okay, all right. I like sports movies, and there are some sports I do like. I'm just not a big sports aficionado.
So I was gonna save this question for a little later, but you brought it up. I might be more of a sports guy. Am I? Now be honest. Mm-hmm. Am I the biggest jock you've had on the podcast so far?
So far, yes.
Wow. Now, okay, I know this is not a video medium here. We're just talking. So your audience can't see, but I am 6'3". I am 215 pounds, and I am cut. So, I mean, that my question kind of belies that truth a little bit. But, and of course, I'm covered in baby oil right now as we're speaking.
You are.
But
glistening.
Okay, I wanted to get that out there.
Yeah.
Glistening. I'm having trouble holding on to this mic. So if it...
see?
We got it. We're back.
The vapors are clouding your webcam. Is how much baby oil you have.
You're right. It is Vicks Vapo Rub, so that could be a problem.
Yeah.
My sinuses are clear, baby.
Yeah, you look like you've got the soft core 70s porn filter on your camera lens, and I am excited. Like,
that's kind of the vibe I try to cultivate.
Yeah, I'll edit in some Beer Chicka Chicka music for you, and although since nobody can see this, that's just for my benefit.
Hey, you do what you got to do. That's what I'm here for. I'm providing a public service on the clock and off.
When the first Mighty Ducks came out, I was in college, I believe, or maybe in late high school years. and not really something I would have gone and seen at the time. However, I am a, baby of the 70s, child of the 80s, so, I know some Disney. I know the Disney formula, and I will have you know, I did actually see Cool Runnings in the theater, and I like Cool Runnings, so I guess I don't know why I would have seen Cool Runnings, but not Mighty Ducks.
They share a DNA, certainly, and I mean, it's a Disney formula for a reason. It continued, they just print money, especially during this era.
And I'm not immune to it. I'm a cynical son of a gun, admittedly, but I can be broken by a good formulaic, underdog story. I'm of the decade that gave us Rocky.
And thank you for your service.
Thank you. You're welcome. You are welcome. It was a rough decade, but Rocky got us through it, and then along came Luke and Han, and we had good guidance and good teachers.
And then a couple decades later, along came Polly, which also had a fun basketball scene in it.
Along Came Polly, the Jennifer Aniston film. That's
the one where Philip Seymour Hoffman, the late great Philip Seymour Hoffman, famously could not play basketball with Ben Stiller.
Okay, I haven't seen it, but I know the movie. See, if I ever ask you back, I think you've got like 7 movies now. You can now I'm gonna make Ryan watch Along Came Polly and West Side Story.
You know what? I think the people are clamoring for it, and what a double feature that would be. Really.
Well, this is kind of a funny story, but if you speaking of double features, is this is how I saw Cool Runnings in the theater. Is this back in 93, I believe, or 94-ish, whatever. There's big, huge, epic Civil War movie called Gettysburg had just come out.
Oh, sure.
And Jeff Daniels, Martin Sheen, Tom Berenger. It was a big event for some reason, and it was a 4-hour-long movie, and we were all hyped. I went and saw it with a friend, and a couple days later, I was like telling my brother and my friend Rick, like, you guys got to go see Gettysburg. You got to see it on the big screen. We don't really get epics like this anymore. And I have this thing, though, where if I have the opportunity to see a new movie as opposed to one I've already seen, I'm going to always default to the new movie. So...
Absolutely. Understandably.
I was like, how about this? You guys go see Gettysburg, 4 hours long. I will go find a couple other movies to watch that I haven't seen. So they went in and saw Gettysburg. I was hyped because this a movie called The Joy Luck Club had just come out.
Oh, yeah.
And I really wanted to see Joy Luck Club, so I went in to see that. I got out of the movie. There's still another hour and 50 minutes until they're out of Gettysburg. And the only thing playing was Cool Runnings. So I saw a double feature of Joy Luck Club and Cool Runnings in the theater. That was a weird experience. Familial drama and inherited trauma mixed with John Candy teaching Jamaicans how to bobsled. Joy Luck Club's like not a fun movie to sit through. It's a good movie, but it's not it doesn't exactly leave you smiling.
No, that was one I had to do a book report on many moons ago.
Wow.
Being an AP English kid. No, I'm sorry to...
So was I.
Just put it out there. There we go.
Fist bump.
There it is. Oh,
boom.
Ow, man. I'm still covered in baby oil right now. So we just kind of slipped right by.
You are.
I apologize.
It's fine. I'm gonna rub some of it on my belly. It's the only thing I achieved in high school that I'm proud of is that I won the English award for excellence in AP English.
Put some respect on your name. I love it.
Yeah, and look what I've done with my life.
hey, you're here talking with me, and we're making a time of it.
So, let's get into it, Joe Tekelly. I like putting your name as one word, Joe Tekelly.
I like hearing it.
So that'd be like Joda, Joe Tekelly. I don't know what any of that means.
You just stumbled upon, I think, my hip hop name. So
yeah, there you go.
I'm going to write it down, put it in an envelope, mail it to myself. So I think legally I own it at that point.
Yes, and because there is a timestamp on this recording and Zoom meeting, that also, I believe, is legally binding. That we have a record of us saying it.
I'm bulletproof now.
Yes. Can I be like a featured guest on one of this new song, Killing It at the Campfire by Joe Tekelly featuring Ryan, and I'll do one verse.
As long as you said it right after I kick it to you, be like, Ryan, please bless this mic.
Yeah, it's going to be great, guys. Look for it in 2027. So, we've got a little movie called D2: The Mighty Ducks, also known as The Mighty Ducks 2. Duh. It was released on March 25th of 1994. It was rated PG, had a runtime of 106 minutes, released by the Walt Disney Pictures as part of their Buena Vista Pictures distribution. So, this was directed by Sam Wiseman, written by Stephen Brill. Returning from the first one, we have one Mr. Emilio Estevez. Emilio Estevez as Coach Gordon Bombay. So, Joe, let me ask you this first. We have a little bit of a generational difference between us.
A little bit.
I know Emilio Estevez is part of the Brat Pack, which is, they hate that term. He was in movies like The Breakfast Club, St. Elmo's Fire, Young Guns. Like, if you grew up as a teenager in the 80s, you could not get away from Emilio Estevez and his brother Charlie Sheen and Molly Ringwald and Anthony Michael, all those guys. I kind of came of age with those guys.
TV's Rob Lowe, was he part of that?
Yes.
Again, you're a little younger. Oh, okay.
TV's Rob Lowe and Demi Moore, and we also had Ali Sheedy, and a whole lot. Just those were the people we all, as a teenager, we thought they were the coolest. So anyway, what is your opinion on Mr. Estevez and his work?
You know, I've seen more than a handful of the movies you referenced, it being, coming up with the Brat Pack. While I don't necessarily live in that neighborhood of movies before I was born in the late 80s, I've done cursory work in that end of the pool. But just by being a child of the early 90s, because I was 3 when the 90s began. So,
oh wow,
really, Emilio Estevez was Coach Bombay for me. He was not, again, I say this like I didn't have a wonderful home life. I was very lucky, but you know what I mean? You look for external sources as well, regardless of what you have in your home. But like, this was a mentor. This was a father figure. But so between like Coach Gordon Bombay, between Tom Bosley, Nick at Night for Happy Days, you have a lot of positive male role models out there for little Joe to guide me on my way and make me the man I am today.
You know who I had in the 80s? Bill Cosby.
Oh, yes.
Bill Cosby was America's dad.
Dr. Cosby. I always remember that I did a kind of like a behind the scenes or where are they now of the Cosby Show. And I was struck that even like decades later, that the rest of the cast called him Dr. Cosby.
Oh my God.
And I was like, this is the guy you probably worked for untold number of years. And there always seemed, I mean, it could be a respect thing, but maybe if there was like a remove, just being like, they're not telling stories about Bill. You know what I mean? It was, yes, I remember when Dr. Cosby walked into the room, and that always just kind of struck me as odd. And then later I kind of found out why, allegedly.
Yep. Well, yeah, we won't get into that, but that was a,
No, we're here for the Ducks. The Quack Attack is back, Jack.
No, and I had a pretty good upbringing. No complaints, really. But I had my share of what you're talking about, these sort of surrogate, as great as my mom and dad were, I still had people on screen that I also looked up to. And, so yeah, I get it. So your first exposure to Emilio Estevez would have been through this movie. So it's kind of a weird, it's not weird, but that's interesting to me as someone who came up with him during a different era of his career. So you were there when he was finally at his, like, kind of like how Ice Cube and The Rock and Vin Diesel all of a sudden started making family movies at one point. Whereas I was like, man, that's Ice Cube from NWA. What's he doing in Are We There Yet? Like, this is weird.
What's the Scorpion King dressing up as the Tooth Fairy? That's odd.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, it's that prog. So you're at Emilio Estevez's like, all right, it's time to do some family movies, period. And it worked for him because this was a franchise, and from what I gather, they were all fairly successful. I know the first one was way more successful than this one, but from what I've read, this was actually a decent-sized hit, too. It looks like it was somewhere around, I want to say the, what do you call it, $20 million range?
I think, check my notes here.
Yeah, I'm trying to find mine, too. So it was actually $10 million. I couldn't find any official source for that, but yeah, it cost about $10 million to make, and it grossed about 45 in the U.S. and Canada, and not bad. So yeah, this was a hit, and I imagine that you kids back then ate it up. Glad you guys had that. I had Rocky, and what was the other big sports movie I had as a kid? Lucas. With Corey Haim and Charlie Sheen. See what I mean? You couldn't go anywhere without bumping into a Sheen or an Estevez, and they were in everything, you know.
Karate Kid? When was Karate Kid? That's got to be around your time, yeah?
Oh, yeah, that's the one I was trying to think. I had Karate Kid.
And all we had was the next Karate Kid.
Yeah, you had Hilary Swank. And now the kids nowadays have Jackie Chan and Jaden Smith. Is that what he's going by now?
The son of the slapper.
The son of the slapper.
Allegedly.
No, that's not. We saw that
with our own two eyes.
We all saw that in real time.
That was one of the highlights of my life. I want to say that moment. It just felt my soul leave my body. It was yeah. What a night. What a night.
Wow. Okay. Oh, what a night.
Beautiful voice. I've missed that. I've missed that ever since our last Bon Jovi duet. This is, you're teasing the people with that. We gotta.
I know. We need to, I need to come to your next work party, and we need to break out something else. Now, besides Emilio Estevez, we also have Joshua Jackson as Charlie Conway. Now, I knew him from Dawson's Creek, even though I never watched Dawson's Creek. I knew that's where he came from, but I think the only movie that I ever really had seen him in before this, he was in Urban Legend, I believe.
Yep.
And then I saw The Skulls.
Oh, yeah. I almost forgot that movie existed, but yes, The Skulls.
That wonderful montage scored to Creed's Eyes Wide Open. Or what is it? Let's go there. We'll make our escape. Come on. There's a montage to that Creed song. That's all I remember from The Skulls.
You're doing a better Creed voice than Scott Stapp these days. This is incredible.
From what I've heard, that's probably true.
And we hope he's well. From the Thrill Me family to you, Scott. Yeah.
Yeah. So this was his breakthrough role. Was in the very first Mighty Ducks movie, and apparently he's been in all of them because there's 3 of them, which we haven't touched on yet.
Oh, there is 3 of them. Perfect send-off. You close the book in number 3.
Okay. We also have someone named Eldon Henson. I don't know much about them other than apparently they have gone on to be a part of the Hunger Games franchise.
Oh.
And other notable names, we got Catherine Irby. Mm-hmm. She plays Michelle McKay. Now, she was on Law & Order Criminal Intent. She may still be, because God knows those shows, I think once you're in them for life.
Dun.
Now, am I not mistaken, because I don't know, for some reason, I did not write her down, but isn't a young, what's her name is in this?
Oh, give me the player name and I'll hit you with the actress.
It's Katherine Heigl, right?
Ooh, that would be Colombe Jackson for Julie the Cat Gaffney.
Yeah.
Who now,
yeah.
I don't believe she is an actress anymore, but she runs actually a lovely food and kind of lifestyle Instagram. It's a good follow.
Okay. Interesting. Did not know. We also do have a supporting, starts as a supporting role, but then kind of takes on a bigger role in the film. And that is one Mr. Kenan Thompson, who is from what I think as of this recording, is the longest serving or longest running cast member on SNL?
Ooh, I would have to check with my wife on that one, who is unabashedly the number one Keenan fan that I personally know.
Okay.
Every time you get those semi-snarky like reviews of, well, let's break down this year's cast of SNL, she's like reading over my shoulder like, ooh, what about Keenan? Did they mention Keenan? Did we like Keenan still? I was like, they probably do. He's been here forever. And who couldn't like him, truly?
No, I love Keenan. He's great. And I happen to live with someone who I think might be the biggest, I almost said Big Burger, Good Burger fans on the planet. In fact, I hadn't seen that movie until they introduced me to Good Burger, and wow. I laughed. I thought it was funny.
And that one holds up.
Yeah, I was a little older when that show, what's his show called? What was that show? Keenan and Kel were on it, or what?
It was Keenan and Kel, that was all that. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. See, I didn't grow up with that, but I know that's another millennial touchstone.
One of those shows I might not have been allowed to watch when I was a kid, but that's all right.
Really?
I got it. I still feel part of that group.
Okay. All right. Well, fair enough. So yeah, we got Keenan. He's in this. He's great. We will discuss the knuckle puck later, because I really want to know more about the knuckle puck. But the other person of note on this, I should mention a couple things about the director and the producer. Sam Wiseman, as I mentioned earlier, directed this. He came from TV. He did several episodes of Family Ties and Golden Girls, and was nominated for 3 Emmys for his television work, from LA Law and Brooklyn Bridge. So he comes from the TV world, probably went back to it. So, had a decent career, I'm sure. And then the producer was John Evnett. Now, he was a very, I think, acclaimed, or I want to say prolific producer. Two of his more well-known films are Fried Green Tomatoes and Risky Business, and which pretty much gave us the Tom Cruise we know today.
Yep.
And he also multiple Emmy nominations for his work on TV. So that's all we really need to get on there. This film did not win any major awards or anything. Let's just get into the film now.
Let's get into the film. Let's do it. Put me in, Coach.
All right, Joe Tekelly. I'm going to ask you the first major question of the Thrill Me podcast, and that is, why did you recommend D2: The Mighty Ducks to me?
So I gave some thought to this, and my first instinct was to just lead with my whole heart. It would just be like, Ryan, this movie is just awesome. But I felt like if I led with, this movie's awesome, you'd be like, oh boy, I might have made a mistake with this guest. I might have, this guy doesn't bring any kind of layered insight. This guy doesn't have any nuance to his takes. He's just out here throwing out like flashy words. This is awesome.
You need to watch Mighty Ducks 2 because it's awesome.
I mean, for the years 1994 to 1999, that would have been my response.
Okay.
Truly. And I wouldn't, even sitting here now in the year of our Lord 2026, I would not fully be my own authentic self if I didn't lead this pod off with, this movie freaking rules. I mean, this movie still works on me today.
Okay.
And there are some issues that we'll get into. There's some weird jingoism aside,
yeah.
Sitting here on my multiple rewatches, getting ready for the pod, the music cues still get me. The camaraderie, the camaraderie of being part of that team still gets me. We're talking about remaining true to yourself. This movie still hits for me on a lot of levels.
Okay.
And thinking back to the movies that little Joe liked in that period of 94 to for 2000. Some of those movies I back away from. Harry and the Hendersons is almost unwatchable. Space Jam, even though that was a very important movie at the time, Space Jam is kind of a mess. But this one, I popped it on multiple times in the last couple of weeks, just getting ready, re-immersing myself, getting myself back out onto the ice. And this movie still works.
Okay.
Now the trilogy, and as you mentioned, you alluded to, there is a third movie that I can touch on a little bit later, but like this movie helped me grow. I kind of grew up along with me.
Well, what I was going to ask you is, like, I'm assuming you've seen the trilogy. In terms of this film we're discussing today, which is the sequel, the first sequel, D2.
Yes.
Now, what are your thoughts on the first one? Like, do you like the first one as much as this one, or is this one even more so for you? Like, what is your thoughts on the first one vis-a-vis this one in terms of, you know, does it still work for you? Does it, you know, is this like a whole trilogy for you that you just really love, and this happens to be the standout one?
The whole trilogy is solid. The whole trilogy I can't recommend enough. But thinking about it, I do kind of wonder if Mighty Ducks 2 is a little bit like James Bond, is a little bit like Rocky, in that, you know, the first one that you see is your favorite, remains your favorite. You see other points of view, be like, oh yeah, Sean Connery's pretty cool. Roger Dalton or Timothy Dalton or George Lazenby even has some credits. But you know what? Pierce Brosnan's always going to be my guy. For me, it was the same with Rocky. Rocky 4 was the first one I saw.
Okay, yeah.
You know, that one's gonna continue to slap. And I think that's what it is with this one. So when Mighty Ducks 1 came out, I was 5.
Wow.
You know what I mean? I was too young to understand a lot of the plot points. They talk about like local redistricting in that one. They touch on socioeconomic class issues within youth sports. And some of that, you know, just goes a little, and some of the humor.
Right.
is a little over my head back then. But like age 7, Mighty Ducks 2 came out. It was right in the sweet spot. It was probably simplified down for little Joe at that point. I mean, there's good guys, there's bad guys. The good guys have the heroic colors on. The bad Iceland team is wearing all black, like the black hats riding into town. I could follow that, and it hooked me. It just hooked me, man.
Oh, that's I mean, that's great. And you know, I get what you're saying too. Like, I had similar experiences with, you know, some movies, for instance, like, it's kind of in a way why Empire Strikes Back is always going to be my favorite Star Wars. Mm-hmm. Even though I did see the first one in the theaters, that's how freaking old I am. And I loved it. Like, yeah, obviously it changed my life. Yep. Like, it, in a lot of ways, made me who I am today. But nothing comes close to matching in my little kid memory mind, whatever the hell I just said. Nothing will ever match the absolute joy, the thrill of anticipation that came with waiting for Empire Strikes Back. Yep. And, you know, because I didn't know anything about Star Wars. My dad just said, hey, I'm going to take you to this movie. It's called Star Wars. Okay, cool. You know, I'm 6 or 7 at the time. I don't remember. I don't think I saw it in its initial run, because I do remember the words A New Hope on screen.
Oh, okay.
So I think it was after, you know, plus I would have been like 5, I think, when it first came out. So it may have been a year or so later.
For such a spectacle, 5 is a little early. We did make that mistake by exposing my own son to the maximalist, what was Minions Rise of Gru. And that might have been a little on the young side, but, you know,
okay.
Made him stronger.
Right, exactly. And so, yeah, Empire Strikes Back will always be which, I don't know, arguably, I would say that still is the best one. But anyway, it's kind of like the same. Like, yeah, my first Rocky movie was Rocky 4. Going back to it now, I get it. I still love it, but it's not nearly as good as the first 3.
You want that street fight with Tommy Gunn. Oh, wait, you said the first 3. Ooh, uh-oh.
Yeah. I mean, I've actually never seen Part 5, so I don't know. But, you know, the Rocky franchise is solid. But, yeah, I would say with these franchises, yeah, the first one you see is always going to be, like, I still to this day love A View to a Kill, because it was the first James Bond movie I saw. But, man, is it awful. Like, I get it. It's terrible when I watch it now. Other than that Duran Duran theme song, which is still amazing and always will be, it's a terrible movie. But, man, as a little kid seeing that, hell yeah, I still love A View to a Kill. Like, so I get it. All right, that's interesting. Like, I'm just wondering, as someone who has not seen this trilogy and now has only seen the second one, I was kind of curious as to, is this like, now this is just for fun, but you know how some people are like, yo, name a sequel that's better than the original, and you know, oh, The Godfather 2, yeah, okay. The Road Warrior. Yeah, obviously. There are sequels that are better than the original. Is this one of those for you, or is it on par with the original?
You know what? This one is probably it comes and goes in the day. I'm going to say it's on par because the formula that they created at least in the Ducks franchise in number one, they do not deviate that much.
Okay.
Throughout the next two movies, and then the subsequent what would you call that? Like a legacy sequel TV show that came out during COVID era. It's still the same kind of hero's journey throughout. So, but for me, they kind of perfected it in the second one. And again, that could be going back to just starry-eyed, dewy-eyed little Joe, just looking up at that big screen. Picture me just sitting on like a cement floor at our family's cottage on Lake Huron. My older cousins sitting around me.
I'm seeing it.
Telling me why this is so cool. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. I get it. They did the thing.
And you're just squirting that bottle of baby oil all over the living room.
They shouldn't have let me. I was 5 years old. I was 7 years old. They shouldn't have let me hold the baby oil. I mean, they're gonna get what they get at that point.
Yeah, why did they do that,
just
man?
Some responsible adult, please.
Yeah, gosh. No, I just had this fun. You were saying pictured starry-eyed, and I was like, it'd be so funny if you're like so excited watching this movie, you're spraying baby oil all over your parents' living room.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't have champagne bottles, and neither did the Mighty Ducks. They're kids too. But when you celebrate the end, you're going to be squirting something.
Yeah, I get it, man. I get it.
It was either going to be a can of high C fruit punch, or it's going to be the baby oil that they leave around.
I don't know what I would have sprayed. What did we have when I was a kid?
Shasta.
Ecto Cooler.
Oh,
Shasta.
I miss it. I miss the Ecto Cooler.
Now, here's the thing. Like, I know people listening can't see me, but this is what I love about you and why I was so excited to have you on this show, is just listening to you talk about this movie. I have this gigantic grin on my face, and I'm just like, your enthusiasm is so palpable for this movie and this franchise, and it's just this. I'm telling you, folks, this is what made those Christmas parties, man.
Oh, boy, you're too kind. And I definitely did not have a third cup of coffee.
Other than that one girl I worked with that I had a crush on.
Oh.
No.
We'll get into that off air.
We're not going to talk about her. There were a couple of them, actually, I had a crush on.
We'll go to mute. We'll talk later. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things like, I always tell people, like, there's this documentary about the band Rush, and I'm a big fan of that band, but that's neither here nor there. What I'm getting at is, there's a moment in the documentary where they're interviewing Jack Black, and Jack Black is so effusive in his love for the band Rush that if you weren't a fan before listening to Jack Black talk about Rush, I'm like, it's so infectious. You're just like, okay, you can't not at least appreciate what he's saying about this band, whether you like him or not. You can't help it now. That dude is just selling it. And you did you were like the Jack Black of Mighty Ducks right now.
No, I love it. To be compared to the Dragon War is skadoosh is all I can say to that.
I'm now kind of more interested in maybe rounding out the trilogy and seeing the other two, because I don't know, now if I go back and watch this one or see the other ones, I'm just going to picture you.
I think you picked a wonderful example with Jack Black too. I mean, we so often we just see, the negative energy but when you see someone like Jack Black talking with like that kind of passion, humans respond to that. We're like, this guy is in the moment. He's letting himself feel something, for God's sake. And it's just, like you said, infectious. And I mean, thank you. That's very kind words for me too, but I see what you mean about.
Well, and this is something I've noticed about myself as I've gotten older. As I stated before, I can be a very cynical, dark-minded person, but as I've gotten older, I've kind of re-embraced sentimentality and a sort of genuine joy in things, even things as formulaic as a Mighty Ducks sequel or a, Disney animated film. Like, I'm trying to balance out my cynicism with, like, okay, Ryan, every once in a while you need to just shut up and go watch a Jackie Chan comedy or a silly Will Ferrell movie, or just like the other night I was like in a bad mood, so I popped in 21 Jump Street and I was laughing my ass off. I'm like, okay, you know what, Ryan? Sometimes you just need to get out of your own head.
Yep. And
that's when a movie like Mighty Ducks can come in and just be like, you know what, man? This was fine. I'm fine. And you mentioned the music. I do want to say that, like, I thought it was hilarious that, because we're here in 94, Cold War is pretty much over.
Yes.
So they couldn't really do, like, the Rocky thing where he fights a Russian or they fight the communist Chinese. No, they've got to go up against a team from Iceland, which I don't think we've ever been in conflict with. But I do like how, I mean, I know we are with Greenland right now, but I think so far Iceland is safe from our dear leader's wrath.
As far as we know, as of this recording, yes.
Don't hold us to that, folks, because by the time this airs, Joe and I could be sitting in a prison somewhere in the middle of Siberia.
At least send us to Iceland, baby. I mean, as someone who recently...
Yeah, send me to Iceland!
Send me to Iceland now. No, that's...
But I love how every time the coach from the Icelandic team walked on screen, they have the most foreboding music. Not so much swell behind him, but sort of bubble behind him. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I'm like, okay, he's from Iceland. That isn't the most sinister country in the world when I think of, antagonists. But that's, again, I grew up in the 80s when if the movies taught me one thing in the 80s, it was that Russians were scary.
Yep.
And so I was used to anybody from that part of the world walks on screen, I'm supposed to be scared. So it kind of brought me back to being a little kid. And, Ivan Drago, although this guy is obviously not anywhere near as threatening as Ivan Drago.
Or, I mean, we're talking broad caricatures of villains. And we go to the pro wrestling world. We have, so many of the Russian, the bad guys. We got some from Japan, the bad guys. This was just like an easy caricature. And it was kind of refreshing to see Icelanders. I mean, I've spent a week in Iceland within the last 5 years, and the nicest people you can imagine. Now I don't know how many actually Icelandic people I met, because I think I heard from them that they bring in so many Europeans to work the tourist season that I feel like I met less than 5 Icelandic people, but lovely, welcoming.
Okay.
I could have had puffin for dinner, but my lovely wife stopped me from eating puffin. She's like, oh, it's too cute. But I saw multiple restaurants advertising puffins, and
they are cute.
They're cute, but they're going to be, get a little, toss them in buffalo sauce. I mean, the little buffalo wings. It'd be delicious.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I love animals in general. I love birds in general. And I do think puffins are adorable. But man, if somebody said, do you want to try puffin? I wouldn't be able to say no. Like, sorry, puffins.
Little blue cheese on that thing. Yeah. Delicious.
As long as they're ethically sourced.
This is neither here nor there, but I've received a report that ethically sourced means going out into an island off the south of Iceland and catching them with a large net.
Oh.
As they're not the strongest flyers, you can reach them with a net from ground level.
All right. Well, I suppose they might overpopulate, so it's good to eat a few hundred of them and save the flock.
You're doing a public service.
Yeah, I'd still eat one. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
It's good eating.
They'd eat me if they could.
Oh, in a heartbeat.
I think the weirdest thing I've ever eaten is I have eaten yak.
Oh my.
I've had a yak steak at a Tibetan restaurant in Brooklyn, New York.
Oh, wow.
And it was delicious. So I'm just saying, sorry, yak, but again, I'm sure it was ethically sourced, and I'm sure its head is not hanging on some rich guy's wall.
It's hanging on your wall.
No, it is not, Joe. Turn that camera away. You did not see that. I do not have a big yak head on my wall. Anyway, getting back to the movie D2: The Mighty Ducks, who is your favorite of the kids? Like, who is, as young Joe Joe Tekelly did you relate to the most?
I mean, this was around the time of all that and Keenan's ascendancy, and even now, Keenan just pops off the screen.
Oh, he does, yeah.
It's the swagger, it's the wardrobe, but I guess...
Yeah, you know that kid's gonna be a star.
You can see it, that big beaming face. You're like, buy all your stock in Russ Tyler.
Yeah,
but little Joe at that time too. Before I became this glistening man in front of you right now.
Glistening oily man.
Before I took my inner introvert and just kind of shoved him deep down inside, never to be heard from again. Little Joe was kind of an introvert. Little Joe was definitely kind of a thinker. So Charlie Conway, I mean, he is more in this movie kind of sidelined as we go through Coach Bombay's story here, but he was the quiet leader, and then at the end of the movie we can get there, but actually assumes the captaincy once and for all of this team. And the observer, the thinker, the guy who's willing to do what it takes, and even if that is stepping aside for a teammate, Charlie Conway is my guy. And as you can see in my hat here, the old school Mighty Ducks hat, there's a multitude of players you can get embroidered on the side. This one is number 96 for Charlie Conway. My captain, my captain.
Yeah, okay. So one of my favorite parts in the movie too is where they who's the kid that has all the rage? Like, he's so angry.
Oh, was it Dean Portman?
Yeah, like he high sticking or whatever, and he goes in the locker room and just trashes that place. And I'm like, man, this actor's going for it. This is amazing how much rage this actor is pouring into the scene. That made me laugh.
You knew who he was immediately. He was a new character in this one from Chicago, Illinois, Dean Portman. And yeah, there was memorable moments abound for this guy. The trashing of the locker room, and then later kind of the trashing of the penalty box, and that final joyous moment of defiance in the final Iceland game.
Yeah,
this guy brings a presence to it, a physicality, and just charisma.
Yeah, I mean, I will say this: the entire cast is good. I mean, it's solid. I'm not saying there's any Oscar-worthy performances or anything, but I mean, for a formulaic, and I don't say that as a bad thing, but for a formulaic family sports film, I mean, Disney knows what they're doing. They get the right people. I get why you guys would like Emilio Estevez in this movie, because even when he's kind of going down that dark path of selling out and doing all the product placement and all that,
his hair getting slicker and slicker.
Yeah, you're still rooting for the guy because it's Emilio, and he's gonna come around. Because I don't know, I've never been able to not like Emilio Estevez in his movies, even when he's not all that sympathetic. I get it.
Yeah,
that's what the thing with these movies is. You always find that veteran actor to work with either the non-veteran actors or the kids, and it's got to be someone who's got some sort of screen presence a
steady hand.
Yeah, like John Candy in Cool Runnings. I mean, how can you not like John Candy? Yeah. Okay, I get it, Disney. I get why your formula works, because you know how to pick the right people.
Yep.
I would say he stepped up to the plate well, but that's not a hockey reference, because there is no plate in hockey.
That is true. He got in the face-off dot, and yes.
There you go. I know what a face-off is because of Blades of Steel.
There we go.
From the original NES. Face Off! Blades of Steel. Okay, I loved that game. Actually, I will have you know, Joe, that in my sophomore year of high school, I did play hockey.
Oh, wow.
Not for the school, because Caledonia, I went to school in Caledonia, Michigan. We did not have a hockey team. However, we did have a lot of ponds that froze over, and for a hot minute there in the winter of what would have been 89 to 90, I was all about hockey, man, and I played it all the time on the pond.
On the pond, you were little Gordon Bombay.
Yeah,
in that kind of cold open with his dad.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, my dad didn't play with me, but yeah, I was a pond hockey kid. I'm not gonna lie, it was a blast. There is a lot of rollerblading in this movie because it was the 90s, so there has to be. There's a rollerblading montage that might be one of the most 1994 things I've ever seen. That's where the Keenan character comes from, is him and his buddies play a version of hockey on concrete with rollerblades, and Keenan has a special trick that he can do, and it's called the knuckle puck.
Team USA leading Russia 2-1 here in the third period. Russ Tyler, Team USA's newest member from Los Angeles, calling for the puck. He gets it.
It's knuckle puck time.
He winds up. He scores!
So I need you to discuss, just talk to me about the knuckle puck. Is this can people really do the knuckle puck?
You know what? I don't know if people, quote unquote, can do the knuckle puck, but I can absolutely guarantee you that any kid back in the mid 90s tried the knuckle puck. I don't like in my circle back then in the circle this was everywhere. We didn't even when we played street hockey. So you talked about your time on the ice. That's impressive. I can ice skate. We'll just leave it at that. But my sport was roller hockey because movies like this just made it look so cool. And I was good. I was beautiful. I was a golden god on rollerblades. After school weekends, playing in the neighborhood, in the street, angering some of our older neighbors because they didn't like us playing in the street, but we'd like ding up garage doors with our missed shots. And so Mark Thomas's dad was like, "You guys gotta play in the street."
You guys are like Wayne's World, where they had like car, and then you had to lift up the goals and move them, and
we had
all that. So
PVC pipe goals and everything. We didn't have trash cans like the Russ Tyler gang, but no, that was us every day. But we played with tennis balls until this movie came out. When we saw the knuckle puck, it was so transformative that we went out, we got one of those roller pucks that you see, and every single one of us tried it, did not work, but it didn't stop us. I liken it to the Happy Gilmore golf shot. Are you familiar with the Happy Gilmore golf shot?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, I've seen that.
To this day, you get a couple of guys after work. They get a little toasty on some simply spiked pineapples at Topgolf, and then they're just like, watch. Let me do the voice. Watch this. Here we go. And then you see everyone lining up for this Happy Gilmore golf shot. Most of them nearly falling off the second deck of Topgolf. But it just permeated the sports culture so completely.
Wow.
That you got the knuckle puck, you got kids trying it left and right, never doing anything impressive, never doing any kind of good for your team. But you know what? Tell them to stop it. It's not going to work. Right.
Oh, see, this is so fascinating to me because, again, this is a generational thing. I was not privy. Like, I knew this. I remember these movies coming out. I saw the trailers, saw them on the video shelves, had no idea these were that pervasive in the culture. Like, you're telling me these movies were that big a deal to you guys.
Specifically that roller hockey game, too. You know the 90s style because one team looks like they show up dressed like the Lost Boys from Hook.
Oh yeah,
they got mismatched clothing, you got everything.
Oh yeah,
but you can tell that there's like a real sense of like street smarts. You got the hey, use the brake, baby.
Yeah,
I love that kid. Instant impact off the bench for that kid. And that scene also taught me how to fight. You do your stick, you do the gloves, and then you do the shirt.
Yep.
Now, unfortunately for little Joe, almost all the fights I got in, the other guy did not have a stick or gloves. So while I was busy taking care of the stick and the gloves, I was just getting the hell beat out of me. So mixed results there.
Yeah.
But at least I had a plan going into it.
Yeah, that's half the battle, isn't it? Is knowing, and you knew.
Yeah.
You knew what to do. You just didn't have the right circumstances in which to do it.
Execution rather than ideation. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like I recently took my nephew to see Kill Bill, the whole bloody affair on the big screen, and he now knows how to chop his way out of a coffin should he ever be buried alive. And he is so happy that he now possesses those skills that I did not have as a kid. I wouldn't have gotten out of that coffin.
Yep.
He can. And I'm so proud that I gave him that knowledge. And that's what movies can do for kids.
Remember that forever. That's, yep.
Whether you can pull it off or not, you still know.
You're out there making memories.
Yeah, and I would say for me as a kid, our big touchstone that we always tried to emulate was obviously the Karate Kid.
Oh yeah.
All of, like, you couldn't pass by a group of kids on the playground where they weren't doing some version of wax on, wax off, trying to catch flies with sticks, doing the one-footed kick.
The crane kick, yeah.
Yeah, that was what we did. Because karate was really big in the 80s. I mean, obviously, we had ninjas, we had Chuck Norris, and every kid wanted to be a black belt. Yeah, so I get it. That was my era. You guys had knuckle pucks. If I were to go out right now with a hockey stick and a puck, I would try it.
I do have to warn you a little bit. It is humbling. As I said before, I was absolutely a vision on skates maybe 30 years ago. We had a friend's birthday party, one of my friend's children's birthday party that there was at a skating rink. We got my son all hyped up to go. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna bring out my rollerblades, my blades, and we're gonna give this thing a try. And I was like, I am going to break my hip.
Yeah.
The music, it was everything you could have wanted. It was the oiled up floor. It was the disco lights. It was Bye Bye Bye. It was Mambo No. 5 blaring. I was wearing my neon, I like to call it like my Zach Morris shirt. But it's me wobbling around like a baby deer, just seeing my life pass before my eyes.
Yeah.
It was absolutely humbling.
Dude, I can't even stand on a skateboard anymore. And I was sponsored at one point as a tween. Actually, I was 13 or 14, so I was a teenager.
Oh, wow.
But I can't even get on one now. Like, every time I go to a Christmas thing, my brother, my middle brother, who's still the jock of the family, always was and still is, and he is always like, hey, man, you think you could still do an ollie and, ollie over this couch like you used to? I'm like, I know in my mind and my soul I can.
Yep.
But I'm not standing on that skateboard because I don't have great health insurance. Like, that's the stuff that goes through your head now. Like, when you're a kid, you're like, hell yeah, I'll try and ollie over that couch while it's moving on the back of a flatbed being pulled by a semi, and you'll do it. Now you're like, no. Like,
so here's the plan. Here's what I'm proposing to you now publicly. When how some animals crawl under the porch when they can sense the end is near, right?
Yeah.
I figure when you and I collectively can sense the end drawing near, that our time on this earth is almost up.
Yeah.
I will don my rollerblades, you get your skateboard, and we're going to Thelma and Louise it like into a rock quarry together.
Yes!
I think that's the way it has to end.
No, I agree. I want to have a ramp set up so that we both are going down, and then we go up like Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible, One of the Reckonings, but we're not going to have the parachute or the green screen.
No. That would cheapen it.
We're just going to fly into the can. Oh, dude, that's beautiful. I am so down with you.
We have a public commitment now. Here we go. Yes. Listeners, hold us to this.
And it's going to be beautiful because we're going to be on wheels. And you can play Wanted Dead or Alive in the background.
Yep.
Because that's our shining moment at a Christmas party.
I mean, that could be our shining moment, period, I think.
Yeah, we karaoke'd the hell out of that song. And, like, we even harmonized, and we didn't even practice. Man, we were unstoppable.
And everybody loved us. We were carried out of the room.
Yeah, they carried us out of the room. Everybody wanted to either be us or be with us.
Yes, yeah.
And
fish feared us. Yep.
Fish feared us.
Yeah, it was Christmas, the magic of Christmas. Yeah.
It was.
Truly.
Do we get to hold hands? Like, we're going to hold hands, right?
I'm going to insist upon it. Yeah. I mean, if that wasn't agreed upon until now,
yes.
It certainly is now. Yeah. It's canon. We're locked in.
It's already done. I mean, in some future timeline, this has already happened, and there are stories about it, and a documentary on whatever Netflix is in the year 2070.
You're
has already got a special about me and you.
your nephew and my son are listening to this as old men now.
Yeah, they're like, God, remember those guys? They were weird back then, because they're going to be doing everything in virtual reality and not leave their pods.
My son trying to remember a time when I held him, but I couldn't because Again, I'm constantly covered in baby oil. Just can't get a grip.
I know. Do you have anything else you want to bring up?
I did want to bring up one thing. And, as I kind of explained earlier on, this is truly a passion project of mine. I could just sit here with my full chest, I wanted to say full-throated, and I still maintain that's an actual phrase that people use, but every time I use it in public, people give me weird looks. I think you can say something full chest, full-throated. It means...
What, full-throated?
Full-throated. That means, yeah, you're using your whole body to say it.
Yeah, I know that expression.
Okay, good. So you need to have a talk with some certain mutual acquaintances that we have, and let them know that is a real phrase that normal people say, and that I am normal.
Wait.
For saying full-throated.
Are you telling me Hojo told you this wasn't a real phrase?
Let's just say that our morning meetings kind of took an abrupt stop when I said I am saying this full-throatedly, and I got some weird looks, and I was just...
Okay, I will have words. I will have words.
Thank you. That's all I ask.
Okay. So yes, I will take care of this.
I appreciate it. And anyway, it could be, and largely we did. I could talk for an hour and a half, just full-throatedly leading with my heart on this movie. But there was some introspection. I mean, I love this movie as a child. I grew up as a man. I put away childish things, and yet this still remains. But upon, little deeper, flipping through the layers of this movie, I was kind of struck and in a personal timeline of little Joe, I do wonder if this movie was really like my first exposure to patriotism in a way. You know what I mean? And this,
yeah.
That scene after the iconic roller hockey game where only Russ Tyler's big brothers left. All the other kids have gone off to play their games. But he stands at the fence and just says,
"Go USA. Go get it."
Oh, yeah.
And this was a sweet spot, I think, too, of patriotism. I mean, yes, jingoism, rah-rah, all that kind of stuff. But this movies like it, kind of focus on that purity of sport. There's kids from all over the country, mostly Minnesota, but all over the country too.
Yeah.
They're blocking out the big bad business interests that kind of pollute the game. Like I said, it's a pure moment for what to be like a patriot in our country would be. I mean, it's before the aughts, before 9/11, before patriotism got mixed with bad art.
Yeah.
Like the I'm gonna put a boot in your ass country music songs, before Dr. Doom was crying at Ground Zero, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It was a pure, simpler time.
Well, and it's post the first Iraq War.
Yep.
Yeah, we had just gotten done with Desert Storm. So yeah, it was definitely a different time. As opposed to when I was a kid and we were at the tail end of the Cold War, but we didn't know it at the time.
Yeah.
I didn't anyway. But I was old enough and cognizant enough of what was going on that I was a scared little kid who, every time I looked out the window, I thought I was going to see a nuclear missile.
Sure.
Heading for my front yard, because of just everything that was in the pop culture back then. I mean, even Weird Al Yankovic did a song about nuclear war. Okay, so
sure.
You want to talk about getting that mix of patriotism with the bad patriotism thrown at you?
Yeah. Yeah,
the mid-'80s were notorious for that. Where I come from is where it sort of built a little bit of cynicism in me.
Yeah.
To the point where if at the age I was when D2 came out, had I seen it, I probably would have rolled my eyes at that. Oh God, here we go.
This again.
And of course, watching it now in the year of our Lord 2026, I get what you're saying. It did feel kind of pure, but at the same time, I'm like, oh God, there are people that would watch this now and totally twist that, and turn it into something ugly.
Yeah.
Kind of more innocent time in our history back in the 90s that, that old joke about everybody hey, millennials reacting to this news and Zoomers reacting to this news, boomers, and then you get Gen X is always, whatever, guys. We're supposedly that generation because we grew up with the Cold War nuclear threat hanging over our heads all the time. We're now like, we gotcha. You'll get through this.
But my parents' Facebook's accounts love to say it's true. I see it every single day.
Yeah.
Someone's got a funny meme about generational divide. But every time they post it, like, this is gonna solve it right here.
This'll fix everything. Because there's, we've obviously had some things going on in the world recently, and people are starting to talking about nuclear war in a way that they haven't really since the 80s. Like, nobody really talked about it during the 90s, even though it's been a threat since the 60s. And
oh, sure.
I mean, everybody who's possibly listening to this now has never lived in a world that didn't have that threat.
Yeah.
None of us have ever lived in a world where we weren't seconds away from being annihilated by nuclear missiles.
Well, then I do also wonder. I mean, we never deviate from wanting to be on Team USA's side, but then in the climactic moment, you know what they did? They took off those Team USA jerseys, didn't they? They put them straight in the trash.
Yeah,
and they come out in an international competition wearing the sign of the duck. So who knows what that means for me and my worldview as a patriot? I can't even unpack that right now.
I think that's awesome. Like, I love that kind of thing. Like, just let's, strip away the flags, strip away the anthems. We're just people. And we're playing a sport.
Yep.
And it's just, let's have some fun. And I love that message.
Even the corporate guy was loving it.
Yeah.
The guy who paid for those jerseys. He's like, yes, I love these duck jerseys.
Yeah. And it's like, I know that might be a little bit of my can't we all just get along side coming out. I have reached a point in my life where I'm kind of just sick of it. Of the tribalism and the my side, your side, and we can't ever, as long as my side's okay, I don't care what happens to yours, And as cheesy as it might be in a movie like Mighty Ducks 2, yeah, you get a little smile on your face when you're like, damn it, we're just kids playing a sport. Let's have some fun.
And you know who recognized that too? The Iceland captain, Gunnar Stahl, at the end. That iconic, you lost it for yourself. Let's go shake their hands.
I mean, I suppose we have to acknowledge the irony of all this anti-capitalist selling out message this movie gives you through Estevez's character. Maybe a little ironic that it's Disney giving us that message.
Sure.
At the end of the day, I sometimes try to say, maybe Disney's done more good in the world than harm. I don't know, that's debatable, but you know what?
In this instance, absolutely.
Screw it, for now. We're going to say, you give me a movie like Mighty Ducks 2 or Cool Runnings, and I'm going to say, you know what, Disney? You done all right, kid. Now, quit trying to buy up everything under the sun.
Including that hockey team that they own for a better part of a decade.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, all right. We're sitting here at the end after a hard-fought victory.
Yes.
We're sitting around the campfire. I just caught my marshmallow on fire. You helped me put it out.
Yes, because we are a team.
We've sung our victory song, and now I turn to you. The embers are getting real low. It's almost time to dump some water on that campfire.
I love you.
But I'm going to turn to you in the dying light and ask you, Ryan.
Yes.
Did I thrill you?
And I looked to the starry skies above us, watching the embers flicker amongst the coldness of space. And, God, you did that beautifully. I can't compete with that, Mr. I won the English award. I suck compared to you. No, that was beautiful, Joe. That was beautiful. I almost don't want to answer the question because that was so beautiful. No, did you thrill me? I am going to say that you... Okay, before I answer that question, and I usually... I will explain to my guests... And after a few of these episodes come out, I won't have to anymore because the audience will get it. When I say thrill me, I use that as sort of a catch-all term for, was I amused? Did I like this? Did I feel moved by this? Did I enjoy my experience? It isn't necessarily, holy crap, did you blow my mind away?
Right.
Because if it was, I'm going to say, well, no, because I know this formula. I've seen this movie before. Different sport, different actors, but I've seen it. So no, I wasn't blown away by it. But yes, Joe, I was entertained. I
I had a smile on my face. I thought there were, some humorous moments. How can I not be brought back to a more simple time in my life by hearing the beautiful refrain that is... Oh my God, of course Whoop There It Is on the soundtrack to this movie. Of course it is. I actually owned that song on cassette single, by the way. Remember those?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, in this somewhat bleak year of our Lord 2026, as we teeter on the edge of either dystopia or apocalypse, I am not so hard-hearted and dead inside that I could not have a smile on my face watching Kenan Thompson deliver his triumphant knuckle puck. And I laughed, I smiled, I did not cry. I didn't get misty-eyed or anything. Because again, I'm not going to lie, from pretty much the opening credits on, I knew exactly where this movie was going to go and probably how it was going to go there. But whatever, I don't mind. And I am assuming that some of this was basically just a lot of echoing the beats of the first film.
Yeah.
There are not that many new stories left to tell. There's just new ways to tell them.
Yep.
And even if you don't tell them in a new, fresh way, it's fine. So I will say you somewhat thrilled me. You amused me. You entertained me.
Ooh.
After a while, you kind of have to just appreciate the formulaic nature of some of these things. Like, they actually do say this line in the movie. I wrote this down, okay? Tell me if you've heard this line before. No matter what happens, we'll work together to overcome every obstacle. They actually say that in this movie. And God bless them for saying that in this movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, that kind of stuff's fun. So even if I'm kind of... And I'm not going to lie, yeah, there were a couple times I rolled my eyes and I was like, oh my God, really? I've still got a smile on my face, like, it's Mighty Ducks 2. What was I expecting?
Exactly. Might be the same old points. They do it with likable people, and it's a good time at the movies.
Yeah.
But you're right. The same points, and they're just got to execute them well.
Just add water.
Yeah, you had the golden hour reflective rollerblade.
That's true.
Where he may be holding a hockey stick that was opposite-handed from when he played in the early portion of the movie.
Was it?
I mean, there's your reflection right there. Who among us hasn't gone rollerblading in the golden hour wearing super short shorts to get right with God? You know what I mean?
No, you're right, Joe. See, that's what I mean. You're hammering away at the armory. So yeah, I would say I would comfortably give this movie, I'd give it 3 stars. Like, 3 stars is kind of the rating I give to a movie when by the end of it, I can just look at the screen and say, yeah, that was all right.
Yeah.
For what you were trying to do, you did it. You did it well. Good job. You know what I mean? That's my 3 star. I came to the realization several months ago when I was looking through my Letterboxd ratings, and I'm like, I actually kind of like more movies than I let on. Like,
all right.
I'm looking at all these 3-star ratings going like, I guess I'm not as hard to please as I thought I was, or that I wanted people to think I was. Like, I just watched both of those stupid Journey to the Center of the Earth reboots with The Rock and... Or, I don't know, he doesn't go by that anymore. Dwayne Johnson and Brendan Fraser movies.
Yeah.
They're so dumb. 3 stars. Like, I'm entertained. I'm sorry. I don't know how to explain to you why these movies just don't bother me enough to, like, want to bash them. Like, it's like... 20 years ago, I'd have been like, man, screw that, blah, blah, blah.
You would have been like Fulton Reed and Dean Portman, and you would have bashed the hell out of them.
I would have. I would have been like, man, no, this is dumb. This is the absolute nadir of cinema. You guys are ruining the art of storytelling that has been elevated by the likes of so-and-so and so-and-so. And now I'm just like, you know what, Brendan Fraser? Your stupid little Journey to the Center of the Earth movie was all right. I'm okay with it, dude. It's fine. I'm in my 50s now. I don't know how much time I've got left, as Mark Maron would say. Oh, well, I'm just going to enjoy things, or try to.
Yep.
I've softened, is what I'm trying to say. I've softened in my dotage. And I guess that's all I've got to say about this. Thanks, Joe.
Oh, I love it. I love it. It's like a version of protecting your mental energy, too. Like, we got so much else going on these days. Sometimes you need a movie that's like, yeah, that was fun. You know what I mean? You could throw on an absolutely dire drama and leave yourself just drained at the end of it. Or, you could watch Escape to Witch Mountain.
Joe, thank you so much for being on this show. And this was delightful. And it's the thing I like about this show. The handful of episodes I've done so far is that whether I like the movie or not, I just always love hearing what other people think of the movie. Like, I am a person who lives in his head so much that I sometimes forget the people who are willing to just unabashedly, like, no apologies. You love Mighty Ducks 2. You wanted to spread that joy, so you recommended it to me. And I, by virtue of that, was forced to sit down. And I should not say forced. You didn't force me. I forced myself because it's the premise of my show. But because of that, I sat down and watched it and was like, you know what? We all need to do that more often. It's like, just see what makes another person tick.
Yeah.
What do they love? What excites them? What makes them happy? And even if we don't quite understand it or feel the same way, what I'm getting at, Joe, is empathy is not a mind virus, and Elon Musk can suck it. So, thank you for this pleasant, nostalgic trip back to the early 90s. I now know just how big a deal the knuckle puck is, or was.
Yep.
And
then I've done my job. Then I've absolutely done my job.
It's the same with discovering with fetch. Now I know that trying to make fetch a thing is not something you should do, because you'll get kicked out of the lunchroom. See? I'm becoming a millennial.
You're one of us. Join the club. I love it.
Nah, being Gen X is still pretty dope, even if we're taking over the world pretty soon here, man. And you guys are going to have to take care of us in the nursing homes. And
we're certainly looking forward to that.
We gave the world gangsta rap and video games, so we're awesome.
And for the final time tonight, at least I hope so, I want to thank you guys for your service in providing that to the rest of us.
You know what, Joe? It's the one thing we've got, and we will go to our graves happy knowing that our legacy will live on cheaply made t-shirts. Everything we fought for politically in our music has come to pass, and Rage Against the Machine no longer has to protest things because everything's perfect because of us.
Yep.
We got you guys' back. Even if the nuclear bombs come, we got you guys' back, because
I saw one set of footsteps on the beach, and I knew it was you carrying me.
Oh my God!
So thank you.
My mouth is so dry. I still almost did a spit take at that.
Hey!
I can't believe you just dropped the footprints picture in this podcast.
We still got it.
We all had that damn picture hanging up in our houses. My parents still do. Oh my God, that's great. I love you so much.
Whew.
There you go. So we're gonna what I'm gonna do is let you plug whatever you have that might be pluggable.
Yeah.
Plug away, my friend.
Thank you. Well, like I said, yeah, I am at Joey Teacher on most social medias except for Letterboxd, because for some reason that was taken. If you're looking for me on Letterboxd, I am at Tekelly J, Tekellyj. Also, if you see me on the street, come up, say hello to me.
Call him a hoe.
Don't touch me, but come say hello. I can call me a hoe. You know what? Call me whatever you need to. Just let's stay at an arm's length. But I'm glad to see your bright, shining faces out there. And then finally, this, as we talked a little bit, it's a day and an age right now where things can be, it can feel increasingly bleak, can feel increasingly heavy. I just want to encourage you guys, get out, see the good in the community, meet your community members, your neighbors, that kind of thing. Go visit a library. I mean, we got two great ones locally.
Hell yeah.
The GRPL, we got the Kent District Library. If you haven't been in a while, they've got a lot of free resources. I mean, some I'm sure you don't even expect.
This is true.
It's a cool place to be. They do good work. Get out there, support your local library.
And it's not an on and off switch, people. Nobody can make you stop caring or stop hoping. So I echo Joe's sentiments. And, you know, when things get really bleak, either listen to a podcast like Thrill Me or throw in an old Emilio Estevez family comedy. Apparently did 3 of them.
He did.
At least. I don't know if he did any more.
He may or may not appear in the COVID-era legacy sequel, Mighty Ducks Game Changers. Throw that on.
Throw that on.
See if it makes you cry like it did me when I was in the absolute heart of COVID-era depression. It's a good time.
Yeah, or, you know, Brendan Fraser's got a few silly ones out there. Just not The Whale. Don't do The Whale. Or Gods and Monsters. But you know what? Throw in George of the Jungle. Be nice to people. Enjoy movies. Enjoy what you like. And
if you enjoyed this program, you should totally follow it online.
Oh, yeah.
Now you're talking.
So where are you?
Go to Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky, Letterboxd, and YouTube.
Cool.
And search for Cinema Milkshake.
Do it. We'll give it a whirl. Why not?
And
Like, follow, share, and leave feedback.
you tell the world.
You certainly don't have to, but it would be a whole lot cooler if you did.
I liked it.
Word. Oh, that's good.
Until next time, don't let the bastards grind you down.
Listen, don't get prancy with me, kiddo.
Keep watching movies.
That wasn't so bad, was it?
Woo-woo!
And, most importantly, dear listeners,
What's up?
enjoy every milkshake.
I feel like something incredible is really going to happen here.
Ooh, that's a bingo.
I'm disgusted and repulsed, and I can't look away.
What is this, some kind of a joke?
Some sort, yes.
Bravo!
You're mocking me, aren't you?
How dare you?
Do you know anything about the art of film production? Well, I like to think so.
Direction, the acting, the storyline. That was bad.
Wow.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, boy.
What did you think?
I can't talk about it anymore. It's giving me a headache.
Why don't you knock it off with them negative waves?
That's part of your problem, you know. You haven't seen enough movies. All of life's riddles are answered in the movies.
I had enough. I give up. I want to go home.
What is that? That's a duck. That's a duck, man.